Hello there and welcome back to another video. Today we have Kratos from God of War 3 versus the Norse Kratos from the recently released God of War games, right? This is obviously a very controversial and very well discussed battle, but instead of doing it through arbitrary categories and a non-consistent scale or a inconsistent scoring system, I'm going to use these 9 parameters, or yeah, let's see, 9 parameters, because I believe it's the most. I would personally like to see what the result is using this system instead of just because on every YouTube short there's a lot of the same categories that are being used, but a lot of them are different. There's obviously, it depends from channel to channel. So I figured I'd just be like, why not just try and use this system to determine, right, who would ultimately win? Because I know the developers, I think Corey Barlog said that Norse Kratos or Old Kratos would win, but because as far as we know, Old Kratos is stronger, Norse Kratos is stronger, but he's not more powerful, and he's not as dangerous as his younger counterpart. So let's just see how this plays out. So intelligence, again, Kratos at this point is significantly older than his, when he's in the Greek era. But not only that, but he's just far more wiser. Like, he's kind of got like an Athena thing going on where I would actually say at this point, Kratos is very much like Mars, the Roman god of war. I don't know if they'll ever get to that point where they go to the Roman pantheon, because it's very similar to the Greek pantheon. But Kratos is very much like, he is very much a believer that war can be used to protect, but he's not really one to instigate war. Kratos from God of War 3 clearly does not. I mean, Kratos doesn't actively go around looking for fights. He kind of just has a singular goal, and it's like tunnel vision. But the point is that Norse Kratos definitely has a bit more wisdom to him and a bit more intelligence. Of course, being older. Fighting ability and battle IQ, again, Kratos is older. And by Norse Kratos, I'm not going with God of War 4 Kratos, I'm going with Ragnarok Kratos. That is probably the best version to use, because I think that takes Kratos exactly at his peak within the Norse series compared to the beginning of God of War, the God of War 2018 game, where he's kind of been rusty and out of practice, right? Although that is also an interesting video to look into as well. Strength also goes to Kratos in this fight, or the Norse Kratos at least. Again, the older Greek gods become the stronger they get, which from what I understand is unique to Greek gods and not so much to the Norse gods. They seem to have a prime, and after that prime, they slowly, not wither away, but they aren't as powerful as they used to be. Speed. Kratos at this point has the boots of Hermes, so he's easily faster than his older counterpart. Durability. Now, this one I know I'm going to get flack for, but I'm actually going to give that to younger Kratos, and I'll explain why. The old Kratos can get killed pretty much by any means, really. Again, Thor was able to kind of kill him. I don't know if it was really a kill or if it was just merely knocking him out. But Thor was able to pretty much kind of kill Kratos in any of the battles with, actually in the beginning of Ragnarok with Freya, if you don't counter or do any of the prompts, Freya can snap Kratos' neck and kill him, and it's just like Kratos in God of War 3 was taking so much damage, and it's not even funny. Compared to what the Norse gods have thrown at him, Kratos from God of War 3 took a lot, right? Soul ripping, stabbing himself with the blade of Olympus, plunging off of Mount Olympus into the river Styx, which would, by all logic, make him invulnerable, right? But it was draining his power, and I think Kratos from God of War 3, considering that he has the power of hope, and I know some people say that the Norse Kratos has a fraction of it, but I mean, from what we've seen, he really doesn't have any power of hope. It's primarily just God of War 3 Kratos who has it and actually uses it to its full potency, or not even to its full potency, but to a very significant effect. Invulnerability. I'll give this one to the Norse Kratos. Even if we were considering this, Kratos at this point only has the Golden Fleece for armor. He doesn't have anything else. The Norse Kratos actually has a shield. So he's got something going on there. Energy projection and AP. versatility. So, Kratos in the God of War 3 series, he had the Nemean Cestus, the Blades of Retribution, the Blades of Chaos, the Blade of Olympus. He had the ability to summon Spartan magic, because he had the shield and the spears that he could summon. He had also Hades' soul, like he could create Cerberus out of, like he could kind of like create Cerberus. You know, with the claws of Hades, he can also soul rip. You know, Kratos at this point has the Leviathan Axe and the Blades of Chaos. So as far as energy projection goes, it's frost and fire, or ice and fire manipulation. That's about as far as he has. Kratos is far, like the younger Kratos has far more at his disposal than the older Kratos. And the X Factor and the hacks. This is probably going to be where it makes or breaks the fight. And in my opinion, I'm going to have to give this to the younger Kratos. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say, but older Kratos wins. I will admit, I am biased towards the Greek saga, because I played those. I've played both the Greek and the Norse games. I haven't played the the handheld games for the Greek saga. I haven't played Chains of Olympus or Ghost of Sparta. But when you consider that in the Norse games, Kratos can actually go to hell, like the actual realm Helheim, if he is killed. Because that was, I think, the original plan for the Ragnarok game anyways, was saying he goes to hell for like 20 years or whatever. Kratos in God of War 3, if he is killed, the power of hope awakens within him, which makes him, again, virtually unstoppable. Right? And people have Kratos, God of War 3, and Power of Hope as two different versions. The only difference is that at the end of God of War 3, Kratos activates the Power of Hope. Throughout the game, he kind of develops it. Because when he talks to Pandora, he starts to understand hope and its use. That's the whole reasoning behind it, right? And you can tell by that through the dialogue, and also when he fights Zeus at the very end, that he understands the point of hope. And that started with him forgiving himself for killing his family. Kratos at this point, the Norse Kratos doesn't have the power of hope, because it's very easy to kill him off. Or not very easy to kill him off, but if you kill him, he does actually go to hell. Kratos in God of War 3 at this point has been to hell numerous times, come back out. And I honestly think, I'm not saying that older Kratos would, he's not weaker than younger Kratos, but older Kratos definitely isn't as powerful. I think is a fair statement to make, considering everything that Kratos has access to, especially in God of War 3, right? Again, he has Apollo's bow on top of everything else. Right? You know, the boots of Hermes. You know, he's got a lot of stuff going in his favor. So I honestly think if these two iterations of Kratos were to fight, I think the younger version would come out on top, more often than not. Older Kratos might actually kill the younger Kratos, but Kratos would just be weakened with the power of hope, and then after that, it's game over. That's pretty much how it would work. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave any insight in the comment section below. I hope you have a great day, and stay tuned for more.